I got the giggles.
I was trying to do Frozen, but my eye was having a stigma.
I was trying to do it too, but I got the giggles, as usual.
I practiced a lot.
Hello and welcome back. How are you?
I'm really good, Dan. I can't believe it's been 1 month since our last show. 1 whole month.
I know, a lot has happened in a month. Holy moly, June was crazy.
It's been my favourite month of my whole life.
Oh, really? Just win after win after win, right?
Yeah.
Kicking goals.
Yeah, every time you turn on the news, something else exciting is happening, great things going on in the world.
Oh,
it's a feel-good story.
What a time to be alive. Oh, so what? Should we recap June? What are your key moments from June?
Should we recap in turn? I'll do one, you do one. Let me make sure my boobs don't look crazy. Okay, so recap number one. Since we've last done a show, we have actually sat down in a restaurant and got really drunk because it was all-inclusive booze. And we've actually spent time together IRL. That's in real life.
I know, that was amazing. We went to Bloody Mary's up in
Darlinghurst, yeah, borderline.
Cross? Yeah, on the borderline. Bottomless brunch on Saturdays and Sundays, and delicious.
It was so good, wasn't it? And I think it's a 2-hour package, but I think they let us stay for 3 because they recognised us from our successful internet show.
It might have been
4. We were not good the next day.
Oh, no, we drank them out of house and home, those poor people.
So that's been a highlight for me. What are some of yours, Dan?
Oh, a highlight for me has been everybody getting online and getting really cranky with each other.
Oh, you what? Unsolicited advice and opinions?
Oh, I love unsolicited advice and opinions and the rest. Give me some advice. I'd love it. I'd love you to tell me what to do with my business.
You're asking me. I was like, oh God, I'm nervous today in the mood. A few drag queens have told me that they've been in venues performing and they've posted a photo and they've received unsolicited advice from other drag queens telling them that they're standing too close, that they shouldn't be doing that. But I do think we've become a lot complacent, not just a little complacent.
Yes, that's true. It does look like I'm in Surrey Hills, Crown Street, Raleigh Street sort of area, and all the cafes and restaurants do look like they're just operating like business as usual pre-COVID.
Well, yeah, because the new regulations, they still allow you. Well, it's 1 person per 4 square meters, yeah. So, but not the places I've worked at, but I haven't seen it. We've still got caps on. Potts Point Hotel still has a cap. We're up to 80 now.
You get caps at Potts Point Hotel?
No, well, they'd only be 50. You know what else has crazily happened since last time? The worldwide Black Lives Matters protests, which obviously controversial.
Yeah, it's been really funny to see everyone go Burko online. And people are supporting it, and then people are piping in with, well, all lives matter.
Don't you like that one?
Yes, all lives do matter, but that's not what this is about.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
A really cool meme where they had like different coloured fists and they were all above the black fist and they were like, this is not saying your life doesn't matter, it's trying to bring everyone to the same point.
Yes, yeah.
Which was, it's interesting, there's an independent news reporting station, I think it's called MK News or somewhere, they actually went to the protest and they have some differing statistics to what the protesters were talking about, and it's quite an interesting watch, but I'm not going to discuss it here because I don't end up in trouble.
Let us know how your June was in the comments. What did you discover? What did you do while we were off air? Have you been getting out of the house? Are you still staying at home? If you're in Melbourne, I'm very, very sorry. Back home again.
It will be us soon, unfortunately, when you all walked away from Melbourne during school holidays.
Did you see that photo of that giant queue outside the Golden Sheaf in Double Bay?
Yes, and then apparently they shut the next night because the news cameras went back and they didn't want to be open, so they couldn't be caught out again. What were they queuing for? That's like a lot of people.
Yeah, they were all queuing to get in. There would have been, what, 200-300 people in that queue?
Oh, yeah. I thought there must have been an event or something. They were all getting there. They were waiting to just be allowed in. That's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
I don't think it's not allowed to be events.
It's a big venue, but even that amount of people wouldn't fit in there, right?
I don't know. I don't know whether people now suddenly think, well, we've seen what's happening in Melbourne, so we're going to get out and we're going to go wild. Because we were actually really busy last night, still within our regulations. But we were really busy last night. I don't know whether people are trying to make the most of it. But even when it goes into lockdown, like Melbourne had a huge night the night before they went into lockdown. So everyone went out and went to the restaurants and like, you're meant to be staying home because that's why we're going into lockdown.
I saw so many friends posting on Facebook, oh, my last meal, oh, my last night out. It's like...
If you did do this, you wouldn't actually be doing this. But we're the same. It's not just
you. Takeaway.
Yeah. Not just you.
So tell me where you were last night and tell me how that has been going.
Yeah, well, I think, were we back in clubs when we finished the show or not?
I think we just started.
Right. So, yeah, it's funny. I've worked with Tora and Coco and Carmen in the clubs, and for me the first week was really nerve-wracking and to suddenly be back in a live front of the live audience, and then I sort of was like, well, I've done this now. And then Coco came in the next week and she was equally as nervous the first week. And it was just sort of like getting back to doing it in front of an audience was really just different to what we used to. It was like your first time on stage again.
Yeah. Especially after such a big break and that feeling of being near people when you weren't allowed to be near people.
Yeah, I think if we would have gone, like we had that discussion when we came out of the official 2-week lockdown that we found it very hard to interact with people. Well, we just found it hard being near people. If we'd have gone from a full lockdown into going back into clubs, I would have freaked out. I don't think I'd have coped.
Yeah, it'd be a lot. When do you think they're going to open up again? Do you think they'll be open a month or two? Or are we going into that second wave?
It depends what happens with the second wave. You know.
Okay.
But, we don't get carried away with that. Hey, you know what? Here's another go on. We did, in the very beginning, talk about new words that we were excited with, or maybe not so excited with because we're hearing it a lot, and that was social distancing and also unprecedented times.
Oh, unprecedented.
We love that one. Cancel culture is a new one that's come quite up. That's used a lot. Then someone told me there was an article wrote a year ago within it. I never knew that was a term until, just recently.
Yeah, well, everybody's really getting on it because a lot of people are being cancelled at the moment for their crazy opinions, J.K. Rowling being one of them. But I saw this great tweet yesterday talking about call-out culture versus cancel culture. And call-out means calling out people for their crazy views, and cancel means actually deplatforming them. Who's that crazy one in the UK that's always sprouting
Boris
racist
Johnson?
stuff? She's blonde.
No. Oh, not her.
A different blonde. Katie.
Oh,
Katie,
yeah.
Katie
Hoskins,
something.
I think it's right. Yeah, Katie
No, I
Hoskins.
don't. Hoskins, maybe?
I'll look in the break and tell you.
All right. Yeah, she was removed from Twitter, and then Twitter started calling out Donald Trump for putting up his fake news as well. It's been a really interesting month.
Actually, that's interesting because sometimes when you go onto Facebook now and you look at an article, it will be grayed out and you've got to push it and it says, oh, this is not fake news, which I think's heaven.
Yeah, about time, isn't it?
Did you see when Katie Hopkins got taken to Prague to be presented with the CUNT award? Heaven. I felt really sad for her at that time. I was like,
I know. I felt a bit sad for her because she'd gone all the way over there and then received that award. But then I listened to her thank you speech and I was like, oh God, no good.
Not only that, and then they videoed that dinner afterwards and she just made such an ass of herself.
So bad.
But I was nervous. When I did the Lad Bible, I had a couple of shandies before they got here, and there was 6 of them in the house, and we were talking quite a lot, but it was all on camera. And it went through my mind when they left. I was like, you didn't check any credentials. You didn't check anything about that. They could totally just be setting you up to make an asshole of you. And we were having I think this is the hard thing, the way you talk in a crowd when you have got, and this is what I had to learn doing online shows, the way you talk in a crowd in your house when you know the personalities, you know the way they know you, is very different to the way that we would talk on this sort of forum, because people who are watching don't specifically know us. What we're saying can be misinterpreted, and you just don't want that on camera, girl.
No, exactly. You have to be very careful.
And I've had a couple of influencer style friends threaten just put something that we've been talking about in a private forum. I'm like, well, would you like that on Facebook? I'm like, well, I wouldn't put that on Facebook because it's a discussion we're having now. It's got context, and putting something on there you're just going to snap a shot of it scares me. Not that I'd say anything controversial.
I've never said anything controversial.
But talking about the pivot, I don't know if I showed you this before. I'm obsessed with pivots now. This is Newcastle Distillery Co. And it's hand sanitizer. So when they went crazy on making hand sanitizer, I ordered those, but I've had to hide it because it's actually in one of those big beer cans. And occasionally, I've got no alcohol in the house now. Occasionally I'm like, oh, no, it's not beer, it's hand sanitizer. And then in America, idiots started drinking hand sanitizer.
Well, I heard one of the gin places around here that pivoted to hand sanitizer accidentally put the hand sanitizer in the gin bottles and sent that out, and people were trying to drink hand sanitizer. They're drinking it going, oh, this gin's really weird and thick.
Well, that's what's weird about this. This is actually a water-like consistency. It's a very runny sanitizer. But I don't know, in America they were saying, I don't know whether people were trying to to drink it to like sanitize themselves because that's very Donald Trump. Or if people just were run out of booze and thought, well, that's going to have a high kick. Like that one time I tried metho with Atlanta, Georgia.
What did you do?
We ran out of alcohol. It was when I'd first moved out of home. It was the 90s. And we were about to have a rehearsal with Vanity. And we were like, well, we've got no more booze. And then we both looked, we're like, just try a cap full of metho. And we're like, okay, so we tried it in Coke and it was terrible. Then we just tried it in pineapple juice. And we ended up with 2 caps to 1 glass of pineapple juice. 2 caps of metho to 1 glass of pineapple juice. We do not recommend this at home. And then Vanity walked in and me and Atlanta were like, oh, poof, just fell on the floor. We were so drunk. It's really dangerous. We survived.
You made it through. Well, I've got to say, I've stuck some crazy stuff in my body, but I haven't tried metho.
Something to look forward to.
It's on the bucket list.
And guys, it's weird, like fragrances seems to be the new thing people have gone to. I got an ad from Teammate today, underpant and singlet makers. They're making fragrance, which probably is not so weird because Abercrombie and Felch made fragrance for a long time. I remember wearing Fierce when I first started flying. That was my go-to fragrance, along with every other flight attendant in the world. And also Virgin Voyages, the cruise ship, has released a fragrance. But what would it smell like? Like wet towels and vomit? What's a cruise ship smell?
Norovirus?
Ooh, you don't spray that around too much.
Oh my God. So the cruise ship itself, is this that cruise ship that they were trying to launch with that Atlantis cruise and then it never happened?
The Virgin Voyages, their cruise was made in Genoa in Italy, or however you pronounce it. I think it's Genoa. I've been there, I just can't say it. And then it went from there to Dover, and then it went to like somewhere else, Manchester, and then it did its transatlantic, landed in America whenever that was, like March, and then they're like, okay, cool, no more cruises. So they've got a brand new cruise line with crew. And I think the other day it actually just sailed back from Miami back to Italy because they've still got crew that they've not been able to repatriate from America. So they've sailed back to drop the crew off, then they're sailing back, and their second ship is now made, and there's no cruising industry.
Oh, God.
It's been a really fun couple of months.
So I don't know if you've seen on your Facebook, but I'm getting a lot of ads for cruise companies that are offering, it's not 2 for 1, but it's double the value.
Yeah.
So if you pay $600, you'll get $1,200 worth of value. Would you go on a cruise again?
I would, but not at the moment.
No, well, not this week, but maybe next year.
Probably not. Well, I don't think we're going to be able to travel the beginning of next year. I think something I found really strange throughout this whole thing, because as you know, I had 2 cruises booked, and then I had one that was hanging off. It was meant to depart like the 10th of August. And my travel agent is in America. And whenever I'd say anything like negative about the cruise, I'd be like, oh, I don't think this is going to happen. He'd be like, I don't know why all you Australians are like this. And it's like the Americans are not getting told something, because they, even on the pages for the cruise, they're like, oh, we might not be able to do this cruise in August, but I'm going to Spain, I'm going to Sitges. I'm like, they don't fucking want you there.
They're banned, aren't they?
Well, yes. Yeah, they are for the time being. Europe's not open to Americans.
Oh, God.
I had a friend fly New York to Amsterdam today. He's got like a partner visa, but he had to get government approval. He was checked 3 times leaving the airport, or leaving to get on the flight, and then he got on the flight and it was 100% full, chock-a-block.
Oh, I don't think I'm ready for that.
Well, Sydney has capped arrivals to only 50 international guests per flight. So you've got all these flights coming in from Dubai, Qatar, and Emirates. Some of this only allowed to be 50 passengers per flight.
Where are they all coming? Why are they coming here?
Well, I mean, they've got to be Australian citizens to still come back. If you're an Australian citizen and you're overseas, you can come back, but you then have to isolate. But it's still at the government's cost. Sort of like you were told to come back 3 months ago. Maybe you should start paying for it now.
I know, because we were both away at the same time, which was mid to late March. And that's when they were telling us, come home now. So you can't March, April, May, June. Oh, God, I sound like Pauline Hanson on Sunrise. You can't 3 months later say, you can't say 3 months later, oh, I might come home now.
I think people
pay for my hotel.
People have been saying they've been on like work contracts and stuff, so they worked up to a period. But I'm like, this was not going to clear up. Like, potentially, you should have come back sooner, mate. Yeah,
and work from home, your home country.
Yeah, anyway. That's hard because there's like crew and stuff overseas. So you can't really come home and work as a flight attendant from home. But that's
true.
Yeah, there's something you kind of can't do from home.
That is true. Well, Speaking of lockdowns and having to come home, Melbourne's gone into a second lockdown. We feel for you, our Melbourne sisters. What would you do differently if we go into a second lockdown?
Do you know what I would do? I'd follow all of the advice that we gave each other in the first week of lockdown. No drinking, exercising every day, keeping busy, stepping away from the internet. All the things that we identified would be great to do that I didn't.
I've got to say, in that 2 weeks, my drinking really did ramp up from day 1 to day 14, day 10 especially.
Yeah, I love you've got an actual day. I
just remember day 10.
What was that a crazy day? Did we do a show that day?
I don't know if we did. Well, we must have. We did a show almost every day. I just remember it was fine up until, like, it was kind of a novelty in the first week. And then that second week, halfway through the second week, it was like, oh, God, there's still 4 days to go. When can I get out of this house?
I don't know. I mean, my drinking continually ramped up right until the very end. And I was in the end, this is my 6th day. Actually, my 7th day. I had my last drink last Friday. It just got to the point where it was affecting me. I was laying around. I was depressed. I was anxious. And I was drinking 2 bottles of wine and a litre of gin every day. So that might be the reason why. And then I just woke up that morning. I was like, I'm done. I'm bored with it now. So I haven't drank for a week, which is great. I've done 2 shows as well.
Oh.
2 shows.
Well, good on you. I mean, I haven't had a drink since last night, and I'm feeling pretty good as well.
Good on you. Good on you.
Thank you.
Have you introduced new TV segments, new TV shows to your regimen since we've last been on air?
Well, I have, and Real Housewives of Beverly Hills disappeared for a month. The worst month for it to disappear.
It's weird, isn't it, that they didn't release, because Wentworth should have gone during that time, and there would have been great shows to come back. But yes, Real Housewives, I think all of the Real Housewives, we'll have to check with Perry, but didn't they all go off air because they wanted, well, there's only 2, I think, live at the moment, Beverly Hills and New York?
Okay. I'm not sure, because I only watch Beverly Hills. I know I'm supposed to watch New York as well. Apparently it's fabulous.
I've tried to bring you over to the New York side, but you've not joined up yet.
I know!
Okay, you will. What else watching?
I don't usually watch MasterChef, but I've been really getting into it this season.
I despise cooking shows.
Well, I can't cook to save my life. Even, I get those HelloFresh boxes delivered.
Oh, yeah.
The recipe, it normally has 6 steps, and I still mess it up. Something's burnt or something's undercooked. I don't know what it is about following directions in the kitchen. I just cannot do it. But then I like watching other people do it.
Well, they're professionals on MasterChef, though, isn't it? Maybe MasterChef is not so bad because it doesn't buy into, the drum. But, My My Kitchen Rules is that show really rattles me. I love Gordon Ramsay's, Hell's Kitchen. He's doing, a 24-hour kitchen turnaround now. So I kind of like that.
Okay.
What else do I can do? Oh, I've just started watching Schitt's Creek.
Schitt's Creek, yeah. Are you still in season 1?
I think I've got the last episode of season 1 to go. And people said that actually season 1 is not great and then it gets really good.
Yeah, season 1's a bit patchy. It's a bit uneven and their characters they haven't quite settled into their characters. And then I think between season 1 and season 2, they must have had a workshop and then all decided, okay, this is who we are now. And then it's great. Right.
Yeah, because is it Moira? Her accent changes quite a lot, but I don't know whether that does all the time.
Yeah.
I'm bad. You can't. If I have to either discover a show and tell everyone, or find it 5 years later. I can't be told to watch a show.
Well, speaking of watching a show 5 years later, what about Big Brother? Have you been watching that?
I don't like the fact that it's not live.
I know.
I just think
weird.
Yeah. That was so far away, and it's like all Australian television. You have these amazing big personalities that really make the show great, and you want to get them out. Apart from that painful Kieran, I mean, he's
still in there with his tongue hanging out all the time,
making noises. Although I feel I would be the Kieran in the house.
No way, you would not be the Kieran.
But I'm a noisemaker and an unnecessary talker and rubbishy thing like that.
But. No, I don't think you would be the Kieran. I would love to do it and have it all videoed, but then not shown on TV. Just we can get copies of the episodes and watch it with our friends without having the whole country go, oh, you're an idiot, or, oh, I can't believe you said that.
We could just hire adjoining hotel rooms to invite 4 friends over for a weekend and just video the whole thing.
Put a GoPro camera up.
Vote Dan out. Vote Dan out. This could be a new pivot for us, the Big Brother experience.
I do. Yeah, come and spend the weekend with us in a hotel on camera.
And they could do it in the house afterwards. You could pay like a group of friends to go and stay, and then they video it, and then when you leave, like, you hate each other anyway, and they give you a copy of the video, and you're like, yeah, fuck off. Put it in the drawer and never watch it again.
I love that. That's a good pivot.
Would it be an immersive dining experience? Oh my God, that is one immersive. Everyone's doing fucking immersive dining experience. What the fuck is an immersive dining experience?
Is it dinner and a show?
Well, there's one, but there's every day there's a new immersive dining experience. I'm part of an immersive dining experience on Saturday night. I don't know what the fuck it is. I don't know what I've got to do. Do I dive in the soup?
You're going to have to get immersed. Maybe people throw their drinks on you. Is that how it's immersive?
I hope not. But do you think we will go back into lockdown? We've sort of skirted around it.
Oh, God. I'm 50-50 on it. When I watch what's happening in Melbourne, and did you hear 50,000 people got over the border from Victoria to New South Wales before the lockdown?
Yes.
And there's all that community transmission. I've got a horrible, and it's school holidays. I've got a horrible feeling they're all walking around up here infecting us all. No offense, Victorians, but you're riddled.
It's those dirty security guards having sex with those shameless sluts in isolation. They've got a bingo number now.
But if you were in lockdown in a hotel and a sexy security guard kept knocking on your door, what would you do?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thought. I guess it would be if you were in, that was your 13th day or 14th day, and you gingerly looked at him through the peephole for the last however many days. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard, isn't it? But then I love the security guys like, oh, you never told us we couldn't do that in the training. And I was working with Tora last night. She's like, I'm not even a fucking security guard. I know you can't do that. Like, I know you can't fuck the people you're meant to be guarding. Like, it's kind of self-explanatory.
Right. The one last TV show that I've been watching is The Politician. The second season came out.
Oh, yeah.
Starring one of your favourites, Bette Midler.
That's why I think I should watch it, but I tried that for the first season too. Is it good?
It's a Ryan Murphy show, so it's got great actors, great female characters, but it's like this. It's kind of, you'll have a great scene, and then you'll have a scene where you're like, what the hell are you guys doing? It's so weird.
Do you think he does that on purpose? Because that's sort of like all of his, well, not American Horror Story in the beginning, but at the end, American Horror Story, you were like, this is horrible.
Yeah, I think it's almost as if the shows have been rushed out so quickly that they haven't, it's like the first draft of the script. They haven't gone back and gone, oh, do you know what? Maybe we'll change this scene and shuffle it around a little bit. Like, no, get it on Netflix.
Do you think he's nice? Do you think he's nice? I've never heard that. He's not.
I don't think he's nice.
Well, you don't. I guess people are a bit indebted to him, aren't they? Or like everyone's like, don't upset Ryan Murphy. He does so much. What about the Glee curse?
I know, with Naya Rivera going missing now as well.
Yes.
And Leah Michelle being a total CUNT.
I saw someone.
Who would have guessed?
It's Leah Michelle going and killing people. So that, that's maybe not a joke. We can say now, but like it's like a Scream series, so people can't speak out about her. Maybe I should do that.
But that's what it's like, and it's her character on the show. It sounds like that's what she's like in real life, except even worse.
How old was she when she started that character? Do we know?
Oh, God, what would you say? Maybe someone in the comments will know, but I'd say somewhere between 18 and 20.
Oh, okay, so old enough to know better.
Yeah. But I think, so it's really telling to see she's so talented. She's a great singer. She was great on that show. Where's her career gone since?
What's what happens when you're an asshole?
This guy called her out. He was a Broadway actor, and he said that she was absolutely dreadful to work with.
Wow. Wasn't there something about her?
So it must be true.
If he said it. Well, didn't she say, she said her and another actor were going to try and poo in wigs or something? Poo in your wig?
There was this new actress that came on board. She wouldn't let her sit at the lunch table with her and threatened her if she did something, she was going to shit in her wig.
Okay, I just want you to picture this. Okay, so you've got oh, she's fucking annoyed me now. That's it. I'm going to shit in my wig. Like, what do you do? Like, you would be standing there with the wig cap stretched out under your bum going... Someone's wig is kind of like, that's next level. I peed in someone's handbag, but I've never pooed in their wig. It was the 90s, that's what we did.
Oh, I'm gonna have a stitch. I haven't taken any sort of revenge on people like that before. But there's still time. Pop it on the bucket list.
Hello. Actually, before we move on, can I tell you my favourite revenge I ever did? I was working with Hillary Eternity and she was really giving me the shits. I think we were at the taxi club and I can't remember, she'd pushed me to the point when I was no longer able to come back. So she was out doing a show and I got every single one of her CDs and we called it hazing and just sprayed it with hairspray. So every CD she gave to the DJ, it went every single one. That was a long time ago. It was the 90s.
The 90s sounded like they were wild.
You could get away with a lot.
Well, speaking of getting away with a lot, what about Chinese TikTok riddled with spyware?
Yeah, but what would they be learning from TikTok? Like most Americans can't dance. I've only just got into it. Are you into TikTok or not?
Oh, look, I gave it a go. I think there's some really, really funny stuff on there, but you've got to wade through a lot of crap to actually get to the funny stuff.
Have you made it?
I put my Michael Douglas lip sync thingy on there, but I haven't actually made one.
Yeah, I was meant to get my sister to show me, and then stuff happened. I was probably asleep on the lounge, which is hard. I don't know. I find social media weird. I think. Oh, thanks, Kylie. Jesus.
That's a long comment, Kylie. Thank you. We'll have to read that later. Do you love it though? Hello?
Okay, we'll check that later.
We love you, Kylie, but we'll have to read that long comment later.
I can just peek over the top. Hang on, put it up again.
Hang on.
Anyway, so
I love it, Kylie.
What I don't like, and this is what, and I've just started doing, is like Facebook and Instagram have kind of morphed into one. And back in the early days, when you hated someone, you just like spray hairspray over their CDs and wouldn't talk to them for 8 months. But now, like, you hate someone, you go and you put your phone on, and there's a video of them doing great stuff. And I have to watch it like 4 times, so I've got 4 different accounts, and then you block it on one, you forget to block it. I'm like, I thought I fucking blocked you. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan. I think that for promoting and stuff, it's important that we have them, but I'm looking at getting mine condensed down. It's a bit much down.
Yeah, I think I'm the same. I'm trying. I took a little bit of a Facebook break. And I've been trying to spend less time on my phone, basically, through probably since we stopped filming, so from June. And I think I'm not doing the endless scroll anymore, where you just sit on there while you're watching TV and scroll and scroll and scroll. I'm trying to choose better things to look at on my phone.
My bad thing is I'll do an endless scroll on my phone in my bed, then I'll get up and do the exact same scroll on my laptop and potentially move to the lounge and do it on my iPad. It's really bad.
I used to do this thing where I'd be playing on my phone and I would be like, literally I'll be looking at Facebook going, oh, this is getting a bit boring, close down Facebook, and then I'll see the Facebook icon and go, oh, Facebook, wonder if there's anything on there, and open it back up and go, oh, I literally just shut that down.
It's weird. Last week, since Saturday, I've actually been going out for bike rides. I'm putting my phone onto flight mode and just turning off for 2 hours and going, oh, that's nice. I've noticed stuff I've never seen before. Even rode to the beach here on Sunday. Washed me crystals in the water.
Did you have a swim?
No, I'm scared of sharks. Even up to knee length, I was like, this is when most people get attacked. Knee length in water.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
I can be scared of
wow.
a shark I can be scared of a shark in a swimming pool. True. If I'm the only person, I'll have to get out. Quite often I have to at my old house.
Oh my God. Oh, I love that.
It's nutty.
I mean,
Speaking of
well,
nutty,
uh-huh.
did you, well, firstly, of course, we've got a new presidential candidate in Kanye West. His party is called the birthday party.
Is it really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Because if he wins, it'll just be like your birthday. No.
Oh, I've got to get my Whitney towel. I'm not really.
It just made me laugh too much. So, but the thing that's sad, and I think we were talking about this before, we talked a little bit, maybe too much before the show, but he's done a TMZ interview. Have you seen this?
Yes, I watched that TMZ interview. It only goes for a couple of minutes as well, but there's a lot in there.
Yeah, and it looks like in the interview that he's going through something pertaining to his mental health. Yeah, maybe that. And now it's allegedly reported that the family is saying that he's having a bipolar episode. And what a way to have a bipolar episode, though, to announce to the world that you're going to be running as president. Because it's not one you can just slip out on and go, oh, it's a bit crazy. It's a bit nutty.
And then he starts talking about aliens and that he's a god as well.
Yeah, and wearing a Make America Great Again cap. But he's not Donald Trump. We'll post it in the links. It's actually unnerving.
It almost looks like a sketch. That's how crazy it is.
Yeah, it does. I thought it was like a Saturday Night Live kind of thing. And they'll have a great time with it. But maybe you can't. Maybe, this is when it comes to, like, are you allowed to make fun of it? Because it's obviously mental health issues.
Well, yeah.
Let's leave Perry to make fun of it.
Oh, should we bring Perry in? Is there anything else we wanted to chat about before we bring out
some comments and come back to you in a while? I've made a new rule. I'm not going to turn side on because of my chin, so I'll wait till you get rid of me.
Okay. And I've got to stop doing this.
You look like that girl that does it on him. You know what?
Oh, I'm going so red from all the laughing. All right. Let's bring on our Hollywood correspondent live and direct from Los Angeles. It's Perry Meek.
Hi, ladies.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, good. I'm just on my phone. My battery ran out on the on my iPad because I was on the Zoom call with Andre Leon Talley.
Oh, ow, my foot! Dropping those names.
Oh, have you read the book?
No, I haven't. I don't know how to read. What's his book about?
Well, no, get it on the audiobook because he reads it in his own voice. He narrates it himself.
Oh, that would be good.
So he's like just shredding like Karl Lagerfeld and Anna Wintour. Oh yeah, it's juicy gossip. It's really, really juicy gossip. And so and she's got that dramatic voice. So she reads everything. And it sounds like you're right there. No, the audiobook's the way to go.
Oh, fantastic! And is it new? Has it only just come out?
Yeah. It came out like about a month ago, I think, or this month.
Okay, all right.
But it's good value.
What was your Zoom chat? Will we see an interview online soon?
He did a forum, where you could ask questions, and he was talking about the book, So it was, it was a good thing.
Oh, fantastic!
He talked about his weight because she's as big as a house, honey.
She is. I love how it always looks like he's grabbed a bed sheet or a doona, and he just.
You can't. I mean, when you're that big, you've got, you can't have anything fitted. My God, but he's very honest about it, and he says why he put on the weight. He's eating his feelings, and and there's the whole thing of abuse, like when he was younger, the abuse and everything, and just this whole thing. So he admits to it, and and he's obviously, and because they staged an intervention to get him. He's been to a fat farm a million times. He's had the lap band surgery, but
wow.
Yeah, but none of it's worked. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought the surgery was pretty reliable. I guess not.
No, not the lap band one. The stomach, the one where they take your stomach and make it smaller. That one's reliable. Yeah. Or somewhat reliable. But the lap band, people eat through them. Jackie B ate through hers. No, she did. She'll admit it. They admit it and they go and they,
Yeah, wow.
Some
I've heard
people
there's
still
another
work.
one called the ball or the balloon where they put a little thing in your tummy so it feels full all the time.
Yeah, but they can trick that too. It's a whole. I think the only one that sort of works is the one that Chichi LaRue had. Where they take your stomach and it's this big. So if you eat, you literally throw up because you can't. Your stomach's only that big. So if you keep eating, which you can do on the lap band, you literally just throw it back up, like you get sick.
Yeah, right.
It's all good fun, honey. I mean, we'll all be lining up for it soon after this fucking COVID.
I need it now. My tummy has never been bigger.
Yeah, I got out of the shower the other day and it was quite frightening.
And this here, I've got the jiggle here like a pelican now.
Yeah,
Oof.
yeah. It's just, but what, we were all going to be locked up to Christmas, especially over here.
Oh, God. It's not looking good over there at all. And California seems like it has a few cuckoo crazies in there who are not wanting to follow the rules.
A few. Yeah, every day there's a new Karen. Karen's gone wild. Karen video of Karen in Costco. Karen goes to the supermarket. Karen goes to the dentist. It's like, girl.
Karen is busy over there and she is not happy.
And she's not happy. And she was busy in Fire Island last weekend with the gays, honey.
I'll set a little bit of backstory. It was Fire Island 4th of July weekend. Normally there's a great big giant party on there. And because of social distancing, they weren't supposed to have a party, but what happened?
Well, the gays, honey, they just went, we're going to have one. But then again, like you said, see, the thing with nowadays that these queens don't realise that you can't get away with anything. You can't. But because somebody's going to pull your cover with cell phones. I mean, imagine back in the day with Mardi Gras, we'd all be in the pokey for something, if they had. But nowadays it's like, oh, we got it, and it's uploaded before you know it. So of course, Queens being Queens, honey, it went on Instagram and made the news and thing, and that New York queen Logan Slaughter, honey, everybody follow her on Facebook. She's fabulous. I live for her daily updates, honey. Now, there's one you should try and get on as a guest.
Oh, my God, she would be great. So she's been spilling the tea, and everyone keeps sending her information as well. So if you get on Logan Slaughter's Facebook page, it'll keep you busy all afternoon.
Oh, it's like a novel. You just read like a novel. It's fabulous.
It's amazing. Did you see that queen? It was one of the main ones that went out. This queen goes, I've got coronavirus and I'm still going to party and I'm going to give it to everyone and I hope you all die.
The one with it, and then she went on TV and she'd just been doing coke and half of it was still up her nose.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh yeah, she was, and she was really close. And people were like, you've got coke in your nose, like, yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna have to get on Logan's page and have a look at that one.
Logan. And then she issued this lukewarm, like it wasn't even lukewarm, it was like tepid apology.
I saw.
But it was just like, and of course then they all came for her on that. But I mean, she's really she made it. It was on the news. It was on the national news. That's how bad it was because they picked up on this whole thing of people going crazy and.
Yeah. Well, he shot that first video and he was topless and he had the worst singlet sunburn in it as well. I mean, that's a crime in itself.
I mean, she looked like a bad chook from Woolies or something that had been sitting out for 3 days.
Oh, speaking of a bad chook from Woolies, RuPaul and Michelle Visage have left their social media platforms.
Gone. Who knows where, honey? Where's Waldo?
And why? Like, Canada's Drag Race has just come out and they've disappeared.
Michelle's still on Facebook because I'm friends with her on Facebook. So but she's posting very just, superlative, like nothing, But yeah, her Twitter's gone. But then Rue's disappeared off Instagram, the Twitter, everything. And Drag Race Canada came out last week and she didn't even, there was no like, welcome to the world ladies or anything.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you think the reason is?
I don't know. I either smell. Well, I don't think it'd be a stunt. I mean, I don't think she's that. What sort of? I don't know. I think it's who knows.
Who knows?
But
Maybe we'll never.
apparently they're starting to film season 13 in the next couple of weeks.
Oh.
I heard that they're putting them into lockdown to quarantine them because we were allowed to start filming, like all of the shows were allowed to start filming again last week here, but then the surge happened, so a lot of them have shut down again.
Okay.
So I don't know whether that's going to affect them or not, but I heard that. But the weird thing was I heard this, but then I didn't hear any peeps of anybody getting cast. Like normally, you hear, oh, so-and-so's, so-and-so's room, going on, but nothing. And, or you'll get a call for a costume. I'm going on vacation and I need a costume for, okay, fine, honey.
I need it in 2 days.
I need it in 2 days. Yeah, I'm flying to, Mykonos to do a summer gig. All right. And the theme is, red, white, and blue. But haven't heard a peep from anything. So who knows if that's true.
Can I ask a question about that? So when they come to you with those costume requests, is it a very vague theme, or is it like it needs to be silver and it needs to be
it's very, like some of them are themed, like it's the what did they have last week? What was the one on All Stars last week? The prom queen.
Yes.
Or something. Yeah, they'll say, it's a prom queen. It's got to be a prom look, or it's got to be a,
Okay.
I did like a really beautiful gold one for Derek Barry that obviously, will never see the light of day unless she wears it in Vegas. But the theme hasn't come up yet. So I don't know if it's sort of, because there's only 2 more weeks until they're down to the top 4.
Yeah, it must be. It's really, it's a short season.
Yeah, so I'm quite enjoying this season though.
Yeah, I don't mind it actually. Well, let's bring Penny back on. We'll chat a little about.
Waiting for Penny to come. I was waiting for Penny Cat to come back on because I've got a really good story for you.
Really? Okay, I'm ready for this story. Oh, yeah.
Okay,
pop
so
yourself
today
in the middle.
I had fucking camera. Today I had a couple of hours off, so I thought, and I was driving home from a fitting in Century City, and I was driving through West Hollywood, and I thought, you know what? Let me just pull the car over. Did you watch Real Housewives last night?
Yeah, I did. I was a bit disappointed, but yes, I watched it.
So you saw the opening of the Sutton and, the thing. And
yeah.
So I thought to myself, let me just pull over and do a bit of investigating reporting for these 2 queens in Australia, honey.
Perfect. I'm spot.
Let me tell you, honey, that store is as big as your bedroom.
Oh, really?
I literally walked in, and then I walked around. I sort of walked around the corner. I'm like, oh, is this it? And the guys go, yes, we have some glassware over here. And I'm like, no, it's like literally it's tiny. And then I walked in, and it's the black guy who, he's her director or whatever they call him.
Attractive homosexual.
So he comes in, he's like, oh, welcome. He said, we're an immersive concept store. And I know you love that word. And I went, everything's for sale, the art, the thing. And I'm looking around and I went, well, nobody wants it anyway. So Matt. And then I did. And then here's the stupid thing though. I walked in and I had a mask on, they make you wear a mask and social distance and everything. And even through this mask, I could smell this candle, and it actually smelled really lovely. And I was like, oh my God, I said, what smells so good? This candle's beautiful. And he says, oh, you're probably smelling that over there. It's a blur, somebody I'd never heard of, candle. And I look over and there's this big candle there and it was burning. And I went, oh, that must be it. I said, it's beautiful. I said, do you have these for sale? And they go, oh, no. It's just Sutton's favorite fragrance. And I went, okay, so I'm thinking, what a stupid fucking waste of an opportunity. Especially after last night where you get all that publicity for the store.
And the only thing people want to buy.
Have shit for them to buy.
Do you know what does me about Sutton and Garcelle? And I think this is a problem with the Real Housewives franchise now is everyone goes on it to peddle something. You know, like all the New York ones have all got their wines from Ramona, blah, blah, blah. But Sutton's gone on with a shop. Garcelle's gone on to promote a movie she's in, Coming to America too. And it's like, well, where's your personality? Like, all we're hearing is about what you want to flog. We don't see anything of you.
Well, that's the thing. But you see, the last one, remember when Kyle had her store in Beverly Hills, which is now closed, because it was a block down from Villa Blanca, which is also now closed permanently.
Really?
That's permanent. Yes, closed permanently, boarded up, gone bankrupt.
Wow. I went there. It was like eating an RSL.
Well, and you paid $10,000 for it. I remember when there was
crockery.
that cost. I had a salad and a drink or something that was like $75. I was like, and I didn't even get fingered on the way out.
I took Trevor Ashley there, and they'd run out of the food that he ordered, so they just chose something from the menu and gave it to him. And he's like, "I don't eat lamb," and they said, "Oh, we're shutting."
Oh, yeah, well, that's probably why they're shut. But anyway, Kyle's store was locked down, and I remember going in there when she had her store, and I thought, let me go and have a look at this. And it literally was like an op shop. It was really dark and dim, and these kids were standing around on their phones, and what do you want? And I went, oh, and I thought again, like, why are you promoting all of this stuff, your brand, and you've got nothing to show for it? And that's why, like, when I walked into Sutton's today, I was like, this is just like, what a waste of an opportunity. I mean, you know, remember Bobby Trendy?
Oh, yes.
Honey, remember
Bobby Trendy always had something for sale.
She rode the Anna Nicole Smith into the ground, honey. The poor woman was dead, buried in her graves, and she was still selling Anna Nicole Smith candles, Anna Nicole Smith cushions, you know, from her store, which, hey, good on her. But, you know.
Where is Bobby Trendy now, Perry?
She's around town. Yes, I see him, but I don't really. Every time I see him, I say, how's things, darling? She goes, oh, I'm just decorating houses.
Oh, not on telly.
But I don't know what honey, that one's a mystery, you know, because, you know, when I had my store, I had a store, and she would always come in and she would always pay in cash. Never a credit card, anything. And she would never haggle over price. She would say, here's the price you got. Here we are, darling. And she'd give the cash. And she's always got a gaggle of twinks around her, you know. So, you know, who knows?
With that wallet full of cash?
And with things of cash. But, but I love Bobby Trendy. She's fabulous.
Are you watching New York, Perry?
Huh?
Oh, sorry. Are you watching New York Housewives?
It's on as we speak.
Have you seen the Halloween party yet?
It's just about to go on to the Halloween party. Or they might be out. Actually, I think they're at the Halloween party.
You will love it, because I know you love it when they give them beverages on arrival and then they just keep going. They just keep going.
Of course they do. But did you notice last night on Housewives, who was it that said, oh, I haven't drank? Was it Lisa Rinna or something that said, I haven't drank? Or maybe it was Kyle. It says, I haven't drank in it, like one of them is clued in to them not drinking on screen.
Okay. They were pretty loose when they were dancing in that tent.
Oh, and they were rubbing their puss up against that pole, and I thought, well, honey, that's just a Corona party waiting to happen.
And Erica's face is just
all
like
before lockdown.
Erica always looks like.
Did you ever see that video? Did you ever see that video that went around a couple of years ago about it was an Armenian wedding or a Russian wedding? That I was waiting for that to happen. I was just waiting for one of those bitches to pull that pole and that whole tent to come down on all.
Yeah, well, I think that for a minute they were trying to make it look like that happened. That Armenian wedding was pretty full on. That one was an obnoxious dog.
She had the blood running down her face and everything. Honey, if I had been that bride, though, it would have been like World War Wrestling Federation. I would have bashed the shit out of her.
You could just see from the beginning that she was an absolute mush. Well, New York is good because they've got two reformed alcoholics on it who suddenly just started drinking again, and they get loose.
Oh,
and Sonia was wild this week. You've got to watch when she tries to repeat Dorinda's speech, but she's saying like that.
But did you notice last night when they went to, where were they? And they were pouring what's his face, a huge tequila. Oh, was it Sutton's opening where they said to Denise's husband, oh, can we get you a tequila? Because they know that once that tequila starts flowing, it's panty remover.
Well, you love that he was the only husband there because he was probably the only one that was invited. And they make it up like we didn't. I mean, the production would have been saying, you bring Aaron. He's hot, though. He could say anything he wants.
Yeah, Erica called it, though. Erica said, she bought him as a guard dog.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I would love him to be my guard dog.
Oh no, he needs to be poking crystals up your bum and everything.
It's fine. I've had words.
Stick your hand in this machine.
Well,
Feel the energy.
I'm kissing handbags, so that's
Give me a hand. It wasn't the main handbag we. There was a bigger handbag we in the 90s at DCM, but we'll talk about that off camera.
But did you find it strange that they rocked up to Sutton's opening? He and Denise. As soon as they got there, Denise disappeared, and then they started up with the argument.
Honey, I don't know where she disappeared to, because again, it's like your bedroom. She probably went over to the court. Like there was nowhere to disappear to. I'm telling you, like there's no. Because that's why when I saw her at that party, I was like, oh, there's a lot happening outside. But then obviously after going to the store today, I was like, well, of course it was outside. There was no, you couldn't see inside.
That's what I think's the bad thing, though. It's like, we're all like, oh, where did Denise go? Well, she's been pulled outside by production and they're talking to her for 20 minutes about something really important. So it's all staged.
I didn't think of that.
But next week they unleash Brandy into the mall and Camille.
I love Camille. I hated her in the beginning. But so did everyone. And then she came good.
Well, no,
fuck off, Camille. Is she?
She's a what?
Very much so. Trump supporter.
Say that again.
She's a Trump supporter. Oh yeah.
Oh.
Didn't you? She was, and Brett Kavanaugh. You remember when he was on the Up for Justice, and she sort of said, "Oh, that woman's, yeah. She's cray for real." Kelsey dodged a bullet with that.
I was going to say, well, Kelsey really messed up her life.
I love it. I love in season 1 when were they backstage at his performance in New York or something, and they're having this really awkward conversation, and she's like, "I love you," and he goes, "Okay."
No, we're going to an awards night, weren't they?
Oh, is that what it was?
It was an awards night.
And they broke up literally like a week after that.
Yeah.
And you can see he's just like, "I'm going to smile for the cameras. Get the fuck out of my face."
You're not that good at actor, Kelsey. She was a much in that season, though. And then she came back. She was like, "Everyone hates me. I'm going to have to make good." And she did make good.
Well, and the thing is, whose party? Oh, because it's Kyle's party next week. So I thought to myself, Kyle hated Brandy. So why would she be inviting her to a party and being like, "Oh, I'm so glad to see," of course it's all staged, we're all falling for it. And then
Kyle
you've got that drunk rubbing his hands together.
Kyle needs to rethink this white party. It's not appropriate anymore.
Well, no, I
can't call it that, Kyle.
No, I think she said it's black and white because it's black and white because there's more color coordination.
Change for the times.
Okay.
Keeping up with.
Do you remember her first white party? And she's like, "Oh, my husband and I throw this white party every year." And they cut to the white party and there's like 30 people there.
Filmed in Sutton Shop.
And it was half of those thirsty WeHo queens that I know that were just like, "Oh, it's a free party, honey." And I'm like, "Oh, honey, you go to the opening of a Coke can."
Is there anything else to discuss about Real Housewives of New York? I haven't seen it. You guys are the experts on that one.
Well, they just get messy, beyond messy.
Did you? Well, you've got to see. Dorinda does like a welcome speech and basically just rips Ramona's face off in the welcome speech. Like it's uncomfortable telly, but it's heaven. Watching that show last week contributed to me having a couple of weeks off of alcohol.
Well, I know they are the heaviest drinker. That group is the heaviest drinker.
God.
And I have to watch it.
I think it's the drunkest she's ever been on the show.
Well, but apparently, see, a lot of them are getting fired now because the one in Dallas, the Housewives of Dallas, what's her name? What was the really crazy racist one that called everybody Mexican, the little Mexican? She said to the one, "You're just a little squirpy Mexican." She obviously, she's not back. She got the boot. And then two of the girls from Vanderpump Rules got fired.
Yes. Yeah. I think there's more now as well.
Yeah, well, they're going back and they're like, they're not standing by it anymore.
Vanderpump Rules, to be like, Lisa's came off of Beverly Hills because I think she thought she had a really successful brand. And Vanderpump Rules is done now. It's like 4 or 5 of the main cast. So bring on Vanderpump Dogs with that annoying poofter that runs the dog home.
Oh,
Lucy, apple juicy.
I'll have to drive. That should be my next thing. I'll have to drive by and pretend I'm going to adopt a dog.
Yeah,
Yes,
just
please.
for us.
That would be amazing.
And then do some little videos. Oh, can I just video the little doggy, please? You know.
And then we'll see it next Friday on the show.
Oh, I love that.
And then what about who do you think's going to win Drag Race?
Jujubee?
Nah, Shay.
I think they're just going to give it to Shay.
I
would love either Jujubee or Shay to win. I mean, both of them are good.
Well, what about the controversy launched last week? Who do you believe, Alexis Mateo or India Ferrer?
I believe Alexis, and I'll tell you why I believe Alexis. Because if there was any proof, because they're mic'd up, and even when they're off camera, they've still got their mics and that on. So if there was any proof, production would have whipped that out in a second when they questioned Alexis and gone, oh, well, that's not what you said, and then they would have played the.
Is it that better to wait till the reunion to show?
Well, I don't think there's going to be a reunion on this one.
Well, you pull that out later. It'd be interesting to see how they all come out, because realistically, even it was three, so the two that are the best friends are going to agree with each other, because Mariah wouldn't have crossed Alexis, and India's really got no gigs or anything. So it was a damn.
Mariah called out Alexis. Mariah called out India.
Yes, and online, didn't she?
So no, I sort of believe Alexis. I mean.
What did Mariah do? I missed this. Did she put a post up or something?
Yeah.
She sided with Alexis. She said that he was lying.
Yeah, she's come out and she did a post saying, that didn't happen and blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, there must be proof, but we're not seeing it, or it didn't happen. No. Maybe I'm just in a fantasy world.
Yeah, I don't think, I think they would have whipped that out in a second.
I've got a real soft spot for Derek Barry, and unfortunately, he doesn't always come across amazingly on RuPaul.
Let me tell you, him and the two boyfriends are three of the sweetest boys you'll ever meet. They really, really are.
Frozen.
Oh, Dan's frozen. See, she's in shock.
Flattering frozen shot.
They really are three of the sweetest boys you'll ever meet. It's just, Derek will admit it. Derek is in his little Britney world. That's all and he tries.
Did it again, bitch.
Yeah, but they really are, they're really lovely boys, you know what I mean? Him, Nebraska, and Nick. But yeah, I'm surprised that they got rid of him that early with the drama.
Well, yes. But they had drama. Well, they came in it with drama. Have you seen Willem's Derek Barry video clip? I know you love Willem, Perry.
It's amazing.
I haven't seen it.
It's
hilarious.
Derek Barry the whole way through. It's very. He actually looks better as Britney than Derek does, which is kind of bad.
Oh my god.
Are you not a Willem fan, Perry?
You know what? Here's the thing. I'm not. Although, let me full disclosure.
Okay.
About 6 months ago, he called me to make him a dress, and he came down to the workroom. And we had a really we were fitting. I was fitting the dress and finishing everything, and I really enjoyed the afternoon with him. We had a really, he because it just seemed like everything was, the walls were down. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It just seemed like, oh, you're not pretending, or you're not being Willem. You're just sort of being, because we had a long conversation about Matthew and stuff, because he'd seen Matthew, and so I. That sort of was a turning point for me. I went, oh, okay,
I'm judging you not liking him by the last time I saw you in LA, and he was hosting Courtney's karaoke at Revolver. So it was a long time ago.
Oh yeah. No, he was when he's being Willem, he's annoying as fuck. But after this little thing, and I was like, okay, I can,
I like you now. I like you now.
You've sort of, you've shown your true color, or you've shown your color,
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah,
I've just started listening.
The do not call list is still there, honey. Some of them are still on that do not call list, honey.
Block.
Are we allowed to ask who?
When I see that name come up, I'm like, oh no, honey, I'm not answering that call. Well, did you see the idiot Gia Dunn last week?
Oh yes, yeah, really, really silly mistake.
What?
When she went, the COVID's a whole hoax, and we're all being led on by the government. And there's one that's on the do not call, honey. No, honey, I see that name come up. I'm like, girl, no, honey.
Have you done anything for Gia Gunn before or not?
Oh yeah, honey, and it turned into
did?
tears before bedtime. First of all, I literally had to drive deep into the valley to get paid and get the costume back, because she said she wore it. And it was a drag con, and she wore it, and she goes, oh, I'm going to cut. This is fantastic. I'm going to come by your booth, and I'll, stand there for a minute, and, would you promo? Honey, I never saw her all day. And I kept saying to these queens, has anyone seen Gia? And they go, oh, yeah, she's walking around in this fabulous pink costume. And I'm like, yeah, I know. But did you tell her to come over here? And she hadn't paid for it at that point. So anyway, so then she never showed up on Saturday at DragCon. So then on Sunday at DragCon, I looked like they had like one of those work the world things or, concert things on Saturday night. And so I looked, and she's wearing this damn costume, and there's pictures of her with Alaska and everything. And I went, oh, so obviously, she wore the costume and everything. Anyway, so on Monday, I reached out to her, and I still haven't been paid, mind you. Again, one of those stupid things where you didn't get the money up front. And, and it was just a nightmare. Like I remember I had to drop the costume to her. It was just messy. Anyway, I called her on Monday, or I messaged her on Monday. I'm like, oh, love, can you Venmo that money over? And she goes, oh, I'm so disappointed. She goes, the snaps on that costume kept popping, and I could barely wear it, and it didn't think. And I'm like, okay, I've got some pictures here that beg to differ. Anyway, I thought, fuck you, honey. I thought, you know what? I said, you know what, Gia? Then let's do this. Just return the costume, and it'll be, well, okay, I'll get it back to you. Well, 3 weeks went by. So finally I'm like, and I kept messaging Gia. Anyway, so finally she's like, oh, I'm on tour. So anyway, 3 weeks went by. So I said, oh, you're back now, Gia? I said, can you get the costume to me? Well, I'm in the valley. And I said, you know what? I'm going to drive out there. I said, I can be out there in 2 hours. And, she goes, well, I've decided I'm going to keep the jacket because I really like the jacket. And I said, great. Then you can just pay for the jacket and I'll get the skirt. And honey, I drove out there and got the damn thing. Yeah, so that was the end of that. That was a few years ago.
What a mooch. I've never been a big Gia Gunn fan, but people are.
Yeah, and then
I'm looking for. I'm going to go back and watch Canada once we finish our show. I'm going to finalize Canada. Not a fan.
Yeah, I don't think it'll get picked up for the second season. I did do an outfit for one of the girls, though.
Which one?
Tainomi.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I like her.
That she walked in and I did that.
Okay.
I've never met her. I didn't know her. I just got a call from her manager, like last summer. We did this last summer. And he goes, can you just make an outfit? It's for a Canadian queen. And I went, oh, for Drag Race? Well, no, she's just, and I was like,
doing Christmas special.
Yeah. And I said, well, what? He said, she's exactly the same size as Brooklyn Heights. And I went, okay. I said, I'll make it. But I said, good luck with the fitting. And luckily it worked out. But obviously that's who it was for.
I don't know what it is with Canada's Drag Race, but it is so, they all look like they have just shaved with sandpaper. The definition of their faces look fucking awful.
And what about that host that comes out in that dress barn? She looked like she was wearing Supre or something with a unbrushed hair. And I'm like, obviously she was a Canadian personality, but I'm like, would it have killed somebody to brush her hair and put some makeup on?
Yeah, it's weird because this week Brooklyn really hosts most of the show, and it works better with one person. Although I love Brooklyn in drag, but I don't think he's a host, and I just hate the way that Dan and I have said it. It's like a poorly written RuPaul script that she rejected, and they're like, "We'll just get 3 people to act as RuPaul," and it's not fun.
Yeah, it looks really cheap, and
yeah,
and none of them stand out. Like if you said to me, "Who do you think is going to win?" I'll be like,
"Don't know."
Oh, no. But
I love the fact they've had the boozy one that was wild and they all hate her and she's coming in and everyone loves her.
Is that the one with the really, really, really bad teeth?
I haven't paid that much attention to it, but I'll have to go back and look. But she was the one that said she doesn't drink anymore, but all the girls like, she's sloppy. I'm like, that would be me. The messy one.
Oh yeah, well, drink.
There you. Right, I'm going back to
Next time you watch Canada's Drag Race, listen to the theme at the beginning because they haven't re-recorded it. It goes drag race instead of going RuPaul's drag. It's like drag race, and it sounds dreadful. Like, how hard is it to record one word? Canada's drag race.
They don't want to spend any money. They probably just went, here, you pay us all this money for the rights, and go to town. What
was the prize? Is it good prize? I didn't really pay attention. It's $100,000.
Yeah, Canadian dollars.
$100,000 in Canada.
Yeah, it is. It's $100,000, and then they get a year's worth of hotel stays at Hilton.
Yeah,
is that just like
Hilton deal?
A year's worth of weekends, or can you stay 365 days at a hotel?
Well, I don't know who'd want to at this thing, But again, okay, so if you're doing the Hilton, then get Paris in there as a judge.
Yeah. Well, is they're about to travel for a year and stay in a hotel every day of their life. They don't fucking want to go to a hotel for a year.
Well, I don't know if the Canadian ones will get that, get that. Well, they may, but I mean, it's like whatever happened to the UK one. But you can see on the horizon what's going to happen. The next one's going to be the internet, UK, US, Canada.
Oh yeah, battle of the international planets. But don't worry, Trump has told us America is the best planet in the universe.
So whatever happened with the Australian version?
Haven't heard any more about it. All the girls had already picked the cast.
Damn. What? Say that again. All the girls had picked the cast?
Oh, yeah, it's funny. The dressing rooms are very funny around. Then all the girls had already picked who was going to be and who wasn't. I'm like, girl, there's going to be someone from Darwin, there's going to be someone from Perth, there's going to be someone from Melbourne. It's not all about Sydney.
Oh, yeah. No, they'll have somebody. They would have had somebody from, Coolangatta or something.
Oh, yeah, Meter May. One of the Meter Mays.
Warwick Kappa. But so I've heard a little bit of intel, and I don't know how true it is, but let's just say it is. It was announced literally in July last year. I think it's ITV that has the rights to it in Australia. Someone who's a producer on another show said, who works for them, said none of the TV channels would buy Drag Race, and it was too expensive for a stan to buy. So they've got this product here ready to go, but nobody's bought it because it's too expensive. They don't want to take the risk on it.
Well, I think there's no money in TV now, is there? Real, commercial TV.
But I heard that Thailand paid an arm and a leg, like literally an arm and a leg for the rights That's I don't know why they only got two. Well, that's probably why they only got 2 seasons.
Right.
Did you ever watch Thailand?
The first season of Thailand was really dodgy. The second season was fabulous. The second season finale blew the US one out of the water.
Well, okay. Wow. It's the same format, isn't it? With the 3 judges host the show and then they bring another person. That must be the sold format.
There was 2. It was Pangina and the Aria. Go on. You can watch it on YouTube. If you go on YouTube and Google Thailand's Drag Race finale.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
I can't watch shows with subtitles. It's too much for me to do at once.
Yeah, but the finale you can sort of, obviously you don't need the and because Pangina sort of does it half in English and half in Thai.
What's her name?
Pangina.
Pangina. Oh, I think you're saying Onjina, like she wasn't on it.
No, Pangina Heels.
Oh, Pangina Heels. All right, I'll get on and watch it.
But she's opening her own club in Bangkok in 2 weeks.
Oh, probably take it from DJ Station that closed down. I loved that place.
It did it close?
Gone.
I've only been to DJ Station once, and I got there. I flew directly from Sydney to Bangkok, got off the plane. It was sunset, so we had sunset cocktails at the hotel, went to the club. I was like, I'm really tired after that flight, etc., etc. So I was drinking vodka Red Bulls, but it's that really thick, syrupy Red Bull over there. I didn't realise it was 10 times as strong as our normal Red Bull. I got home and I was literally in bed like someone had filled me with electricity. I was like that. I didn't sleep all night.
Calling it now.
was the Rebels, I swear.
I'm on
so that's why
I'm on electricity.
that's why she must be opening a club to like fill the gap.
Yeah, I mean, I love Bangkok, but when I went there, it was weird. Like, they just used to have drag queen DJs, but it was fully pre-recorded. They were just pretending to DJ.
Oh,
Last time it was a K-pop dance night, and they were like robots dancing. I took it all very seriously.
Oh.
I stood out like a sore toss, like twice the man any of them were, twice their height, twice their weight. You know.
Well, they had that other club that again closed down called Maggie Choo's.
Never went.
But that was fun. I went there. It was in the basement of a hotel, like a Sheraton or something. But and Pangina and the girls used to do shows there.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yes. So no, do a bit of investigation. She's kind of fabulous, Pangina.
I'll check that out if you get me the inside scoop on Vanderpump Dogs for next week, Perry.
Okay, that'll be my mission.
All right.
I'm going
so
to
excited.
undercover because it's easy because you can just wear a mask and some
Oh
glasses.
yeah, and just sunglasses, big sunnies.
Yeah, we have to wear the mask anyway, so I can just be like, hello.
Oh, you know San Francisco is passing a bill called the Karen, C-A-R-E-N bill?
Yes.
Heaven.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Racially motivated police reports.
But here's the thing, like, every single day, without fail, every single day there's a new video of a Karen. And I'm just thinking, if you're a Karen, wouldn't you kind of go, maybe I shouldn't be a Karen because I'm going to end up on the internet?
Because I think they're like, you need to follow. Do you follow Karen's? Follow Karen's Gone Wild on Instagram because it's pretty heaven. It's called Karen's Gone Wild.
And the other one that started up is, Morgan McMichaels is doing a name and shame on hers.
Right.
So she'll put up videos and phone numbers and everything. Oh yeah, she's going to town. She goes on today's name and shame. We've got, she'll put all the receipts, honey. Oh yeah, don't fuck with Morgan McMichaels.
I'll check that out.
God.
A lot
check
of
that
homework.
out too.
A lot of homework for next
We've
week.
got a lot of research to do.
I know, a lot of research. We're a lot of research kids.
We'll do it. We'll do it.
All right, honey. Well, if I find out where's Waldo, or
Yes.
where they're hiding, I'll give you an update.
We'll touch back on that
please.
next week. All right, Perry,
All right,
enjoy New York. Enjoy New York.
All right,
We love you. Bye, Perry. See you next time.
Bye.
Oh, that was very homosexual.
I love that gay hand shut off at the end.
Yeah. Oh, well, oh my goodness, we've been chatting for an hour and 15 minutes, Penny.
We've had a lot of dirt to dish. But Dan, we did want to finish up the show with our new segment, don't we?
That's right, Penny. Okay, yes, introduce me with this.
Our new farewell segment, and I'd like to introduce DJ Dan Murphy for Dan's Diorama.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this difficult time, it is great to stay positive, but don't be one of those toxic positive people where you just say, everything's going to be good, everything's going to be fine. People acknowledge that things are a little bit shitty right now, but they will get better. Don't have to be positive all the time. And stop giving advice. All right, I'm getting off Dan's diorama soapbox.
Whoa. I love it when you step on that diorama.
Penny, can you tell me about Penny's platform this week?
On my platform this week, it's in the same vein as what you've said. I'm calling it be optimistic but realistic. So it's great to be positive, but at least be realistic. Don't fake yourself into believe shit that isn't happening. And if you've got people, specifically people in the aviation industry that are stood down, laid off, please don't say things like, don't worry, you'll get another job, everything will be fine. Because just let people have their moment and let them talk to you. And maybe if they ask for advice or what would you do, offer it. But if they don't. And that's Penny's platform.
I love Penny's platform and Dan's diorama for the week.
You get fired up. I love it.
Just got to breathe. We don't need your advice.
We appreciate it. Send it somewhere else. And with that, I guess we'll be back next week. Have you got anything else you want to add?
No, I don't think I've got anything else to add for this week. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll look forward to seeing you next week. As always, if you want to send us a little tip, we would love it. It's not required, but the link is in the comments over here.
It's nice to do. We'll invest in appropriate.
Exactly. Well, Shall we sign off? Is that it?
Yeah, let's. I look forward to seeing you
It's
next week.
been-
We're having a lunch before.
Yes, absolutely. And even if you're not drinking by then, I will be.
I'm happy for people to drink around me, just don't drink in me.
That sounds like a good plan.
Let's see how I
On
go
that
next
note-
week. That'll be 2 weeks. See you.
Bye, everybody. Oh, what have I done? Whoops.